and we're going to focus on fractions on a number line, okay? Let's talk about first our essential question. If you need to pause the video, pause it now so that you could go get your book, grab a piece of paper or your Go Math book, your math notebook if you need to write anything down, or if not, just write in your Go Math book, okay? That's why you have it. All right, our essential question is, how can we represent and locate fractions on a number line? Now, represent and locate are two very important words here. They tell us what we are doing. Represent and locate mean we need to show and find where these fractions are on a number line. Let's do the unlock the problem together. Okay, I'm going to read it, so follow along. Billy's family is traveling from his house to his grandma's house. They stop at gas stations when they are 1/4 and 3/4 of the way there. How can you represent those distances on a number line? So our question is, how can we show and find 1/4 and 3/4 on a number line? Okay, I'm going to continue reading. You can use a number line to show fractions. The length from one whole number to the next whole number represents one whole. The line can be divided into any number of equal parts or lengths. Okay, so in this case, the denominator is 4 in 1/4 and the denominator is 4 in 3/4. So if we look at the activity is telling us to use fraction strips, but we don't have fraction strips. So instead of using fraction strips, we are going to draw, okay? So we need to find the distance to Billy's grandma's house, and we need to find the number of parts. So one gas station is 1/4 of the mile. What part of the fraction tells us the number of equal parts? Okay, if 1/4 is the fraction, the denominator tells us the equal parts. So 4, 4, and 4, okay? The denominator tells us the number of equal parts in the whole. Okay, in this case, look at the number line. The whole number line is 0 to 1. Yes? Now, 0 to 1, but it's broken up into 4 different parts. Okay, so that's how we know the denominator always tells us the number of equal parts. Now, what does the numerator tell us then? The numerator is the number of equal lengths that have been traveled so far. Okay, they haven't made it to grandma's house yet. Right now, we're only showing the 2 stops to the gas stations. All right, now let's do the activity down at the bottom. Step 1, divide the line into 4 equal lengths or fourths and place 1/4 fraction strips end to end above the line to help us. Okay, so look at your number line. They did the first one for you. That is 1/4. This one is 1/4. This one is 1/4, and this one is 1/4. Each of the strips is just 1/4. This is 1/4. This is 1/4, and this is 1/4, okay? Each part is just 1/4. This right here is 1/4, this one's 1/4, this one's 1/4, and this one's 1/4. Okay, that's how we're going to call the strips. Now, we did step 1, right? If you didn't do it, I want you to copy what I'm doing as we're going along, because later on when you do share and show and on your own, you will need to do it by yourselves. So copy this so you could go back and figure it out. Step 2, at the end of each strip, draw a line or a mark on the line, okay? So I have here, and I'm gonna change my colors. From here to about right here is 1/4, yes? And then the next line, that's the second one. And then the third one, and then the last one. Got it? There's 4 equal parts, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Why? Because the denominator is 4. So there has to be 4 parts. Now, step 3. Count the fourths from 0 to 1 to label the distances from 0. Pretty simple. So grab your pencil, And let's mark it. From 0 over here, that's 1. From 1 over here, that's 2. From 2 over here, that's 3. And from 3 over here is 4, which they already did for you. Got it? We labeled it. So step 1 was just to divide this part here. Step 2 was just to put the dots on the number line. And step 3 was to label the fractions. Done and done. Now, step 4. Think of 1/4. We always look at the think spots because those are your clues, okay? So pay attention to those areas. Think 1/4 is 1 out of the 4 equal parts. So this is just one part. This is just a different part. This is another part, and this is the fourth part. Yes? Pretty simple. Now, draw a point at 1/4 to represent the distance from 0 to 4. Why 1/4? Because that was the first stop. The first gas station they stopped at was 1/4. So that is right here. And we're going to label that point G1. And remember, label, you need to label it. Mark it. That way we know. That is G1. Step 5, draw a point at 3/4. So look at your fractions. Where is 3/4? That was the last gas station they stopped at. That is G2 because it says to label the point. Pretty simple? Good. That's basically what we did. We answered our essential question. Did we represent the fractions on the number line? Yes. Did we locate the fractions on the number line? Again, yes. We located them. We told them where the 3/4 is. We told them where the 1/4 is. And then we also labeled all of the fractions. So we answered our essential question. How can we represent and locate the fractions on a number line? We break it up into equal parts. Okay, they have to be equal. Think of it like if I brought a tray of brownies to the classroom and I cut them in pieces, they need to be equal for everyone. That wouldn't be fair. Okay, so that's pretty much what this entire chapter is about. Locating and representing fractions on the number line. What we just did is what you were going to continue to do in your chapter as we move along. Okay, let's go ahead and turn to the next page. Let's do this example together, because then after that, it's your share and show, and that's on your own. This example, complete the number line to name the point. Do you guys notice how I am reading what they're telling me? Because it's telling me in the book. We have a bit of a problem sometimes where we just look at something, we're like, oh, I know what to do. I just have to label. This is 1/6, and this is 2/6, and that's 3/6, and then we forget that there might be something else that we have to do, and we didn't do it. So stop, and let's read. We need color pencils. If you don't have color pencils, you can use crayons. If you don't have crayons, you can use highlighters. If you don't have a highlighter, you could use anything, a pen. If you don't have any, you just have a pencil, perfectly fine. Just use a pencil, not a big deal. Now, write the fraction that names the point on the number line. Write the fraction, okay? That is what we're going to do. We are going to write the fractions. Ready? From 0 over here, that is 1. Then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Does it go in order? Yes. Why does it go in order? It's because they're equal, okay? It's on a number line. So each part is equal, and it goes one by one. Don't forget that. And remember our essential question? We are trying to find and locate fractions on a number line, okay? Don't forget, that's the most important thing that we have to come back to, because there's no point in trying to learn something if we don't know why we're trying to learn it, okay? That's why we're trying to learn it. We're trying to figure out where does a number line go and how do we know that, okay? Now, let's read the thing, because we need to put an answer here. This number line is divided into 6 equal lengths, yes? Do all the denominators have a 6? They do. So It has to be 6 equal parts. The length of one equal part is what? What is the length of one of these? 1/6. What is the length of this one? 1/6. And this one? It's 1/6. That's just their name. The length of one equal part is 1/6. We don't call them anything else but 1/6. Now, let's keep going. We did it all. We're missing a denominator here, so go ahead and put it in. We know that the denominator for all of them is 6 because they split up the number line into 6 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 parts in this number line. And I'm erasing just because I don't want the page to get too crowded. But you can pause the video and copy it before I erase it. Or if you move on and you're like, oh man, I forgot, I didn't write that down, go back in the video. Okay, that's why I'm making this video so you can go back as many times as you want. Now, let's see. It said, shade the fraction strips to show the location of the point. So did everybody see the point? It's right over, let's see, here. Oops, I erased it by accident. Hold on. I'm learning too when I'm using this and recording myself. So the point is right here. Yes, it says to shade the fraction strips. Where are my fraction strips? These are fraction strips. Fraction strips. So it's telling you to shade the fraction strips to show the location of the point. So I gotta start from 0 and shade all the way until I reach that point. And what is my point? The shaded length shows 5 out of 6. So there are 5 out of 6 equal lengths shaded. We shaded the 5. And how do I know that? Because I could go back and check. Remember I wrote my numbers at the top? If you copied them, then you're good. If you didn't, let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I shaded 5 out of the 6. Okay? So, what's the name of my point? 5 over 6. Done. I answered my questions. What were my questions? First, I needed to locate and find the different parts on my number line. And then after that, I located and found my point. All right, there's a lot going on here. So pause and go back before you move on. I'm going to erase it all. And if you need it, you will go back and check it out by yourself. I'm going to erase it all. Why? Because I want to briefly put it all in a much nicer and neater form. Okay, your writing should be nice and neat. Again, the length of one box or section or length or part is 1 over 6. Every single part is called 1 over 6. And then I will label each part. 1 over 6, 2, 6, 3, 6, 4, 6, 5 over 6, oops, and 6, 6. Done. Then I will shade up to my point. So from here, all this needs to be shaded in. Do I shade 6, 6? No, they didn't ask us to shade 6, 6. They only marked this area. And then you answer the questions at the bottom. Again, there are blank out of blank equal lengths shaded. I only shaded 5 out of the 6. I left 1 out. My number 6 is out. The shaded length shows 5, 6. Yes? So 5, 6 names that point. That's the name of it. Finito. Now, let's move on. I'm not going to do this bottom part with you because I want you to try. I gave you 2 examples. Now it's your turn, okay? And the reason I'm looking down, if you're wondering, is because I have my iPad and it's showing me what you guys are looking at. Now, number 1, complete the number line and draw a point to show 2/3. They did the fraction strips for you right here. They did the fraction strips. So all you need to do is label the fractions and then draw your point. Where? Where does this point go? Where is 2/3? This second part, or sorry, number 2, they give you the fraction strips here and they give you the number line here. Find point A, find point B, find point C, write the fractions. Got it? Good. Now we're gonna keep it going. On to the next page. Delete PDF, ready? Number 5 and number 6, now you need to draw the fraction strips. They did the first one for you. Just follow it along as best as you can. Here is a tip, an idea. Something that would make your life easy is to draw the line here and then try and guess where it might go. And that way you can draw the squares on top now. Okay? Like I said, I'm not gonna do all of them because I want you to try. Don't forget to, what it says, use fraction strips. So you need to draw them. And then you're going to locate and draw the point for the fraction. This is what you need to find. Find it, locate it with the dot. Find it, locate it with the dots. Write the fraction that names the point. Where is C? Where is D? Where is E? You're gonna have to write the fractions. They don't give you a spot to write it. Go ahead and put it up here, right above it, write the fraction. That's going to help you out instead of having to go back each time. Oh, is this one 1 or is this one 2? Or is this one 3 or is this one 4? Or is this one 5 or is this one 6? You know? You're going to do 10 and 11. You need to read it to figure it out. You're going to unlock this problem, okay? Unlock this problem. I'm gonna give you some clues about this one. So I'll read it to you, okay? Javia ran 8 laps around the track to run a total of 1 mile on Monday. How many laps will she need to run on Tuesday to run 3/8 of a mile? Now, they gave you how many laps she ran, how many laps she ran, and they give you one of the fractions. So how much, if this is the line over here in C, then we know that we need to break it up into how many parts? 8 parts. Got it? So what do we need to find? We need to find the number of laps that Javia will need to run on Tuesday. That's the question. That is right here. That's what you're gonna write here. Hello, there. Right here, you need to write, what do we need to find? How many laps Javia will run on Tuesday. That's it. That's the answer for right here. B, how will you use what you know about number lines to help you solve the problem? Well, I know that a number line can be broken up into different parts. And that way I can see how many miles. So that's what you could write here. What do we know? That we can locate and find fractions in a number line. That's your answer there. That's how we know what how will you use what we know? It's going to show us. Now you're going to have to draw your number line, okay? Should be broken up into 8 parts. And then you need to locate with a dot on the number line, where is 3/8 of a mile? Over here in C, find 3/8 of a mile on the number line. So it should be broken up into 8 parts. Find 3/8. Got it? Make sure you label it with a dot. Locate it, then enter D. Go ahead and do 13 on your own. That one's pretty simple. We're gonna continue moving on. I want you to do the practice and homework, okay? Check the schedule I sent out on Dojo and on Google Classroom. It's gonna tell you what to do each day, okay? We will meet on, let me stop sharing this and share with you when we're going to meet, because that is very, very important. Let me share the whiteboard, okay? And I'm going to type it. So focus on what I'm typing. When do we have, where did it go? Oh, there it is. Monday at 11 a.m. we are going to meet to talk about the book. And if you have any questions, you can ask me. And Wednesday at 11 a.m. we are going to meet. So if you also have more questions, then you can ask me either of those 2 days. There is no live meeting on Friday. There's no school Friday. It's the beginning of spring break. So enjoy your spring break. And we will be back on April 20th. And we will have a live that day, okay? If you have any questions, you know how to find me, Dojo or Google Classroom. You can leave me a comment and check it out there. I will also put more stuff to do on Google Classroom. So if you get on Google Classroom, go on and check for the math and check for the ELA and do both. Got it? I love you guys.